Okay, how are we doing, everybody? Hope y'all are doing okay today. It is Alex with my 5 at 5 on 5. That's where I answer 5 of your questions at 5. It's 5 p.m. right now on the 5th of the month. October 5th, great month. 3 birthdays from our league this year. Gene, Joe, and Alex, all with October birthdays. It's just wonderful month. Wonderful month. First question up. How is scoring compared to the last years? Now, I know a couple of people have been wondering, are we in a down year? I know Joe put up a little bit of worry about that and doubt about that. So looking back at the numbers, last year is really our best scoring year, and a lot of that is due to Tony. Outside of Tony, though, we're actually pretty even compared to some of the other years, especially looking back at 2017. And this year is very similar to 2016 in regards to actual player scoring, with 1 or 2 quarterbacks being up much higher, and the running back play actually much lower than it has been the last 2 years. Through 4 weeks, no running back was over 100 points. Whereas last year there was a top 3 running back. I think it was Kareem Hunt through 3 weeks, and Todd Gurley was up there. The year before you had Kareem Hunt. So you've got a couple of people that are underperforming at their positions. But overall, scoring is pretty even compared to last year where scoring was up. That being said, scoring is a lot more widespread because of the injuries. So you have certain people that are not scoring as much because they are out. So an A.J. Green, a Melvin Gordon, those points are going to their backups. Second question, will anyone have a comeback? Basically, that question is anybody going to be better than they look right now? I think yes. I don't think it's going to be Luke, though. I think he may have resurgence with some of his players later on, and I'll get more into that later. But as of right now, the only team I think that will really come back is Zach. I think he has a really strong team. He'll probably end up finishing the year with 8 wins. At 1-3 right now, that means he has to win, 8 of the last maybe 9, I think, for where we're at right now. 13 games, yeah. So I think he actually wins 7 more, goes 7-2 the rest of the year, and either is division leader or very close to it. That being said, moving right into the third question, playoff predictions. I think that for the playoff, I think the division winners or division leaders at the end of the regular season are going to be Zach, and I think it will be Joe. I'd like it to be me, though. And I think Mark, while he'll be near the top, I think Joe's actually about to have a nice little comeback this year and end up finishing out right at the top. Probably a tie for the division lead with something either going to points or head-to-head or something like that. With them two getting first-round byes, I think you also have Tony who makes it to the playoff, Jonah who makes it to the playoff, Alex who makes it to the playoff, and Mark who makes it to the playoff. Everybody else will miss it. I think that Tony loses round 1. I think Mark and Alex end up making it to the finals together. And I think you have Mark ending up winning the final boot. Again, I'd like to be able to win that, but I'm going to say I'll finish in second so I don't jinx myself. Question number 4. And it looks like this one's coming from Gene right here. Looks like we have him live. Injury resurgence or coming back from suspensions. So this would be somebody like Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon maybe, A.J. Green maybe, different players like that. It's tough to see. I think Drew Brees, when he comes back, will be great. I think he's been holding back, and for it to be a thumb injury and not necessarily like an old man, you're just older and playing and somebody else would have shaken this off, I think he may come back with a little fire rather than easing into it a little bit. So I really think Drew Brees is going to do great. I also think Melvin Gordon's going to come. That Chargers offense is playing really, really well. If he can get working in the passing game like Austin Eckler has, I think he'll be very dangerous. Outside of that, The only other player I could maybe see is Kareem Hunt, and that's only if Nick Chubb goes down. Chubb is right now chubbing along and doing awesome. It'd be very difficult for him to move into a role that's very similar to Chubb and take that away from him. If he was maybe like a Duke Johnson type player where he's playing third down, passing down stuff, maybe. But Baker's not exactly a game manager who's going to dump it off on a bunch of little out passes, little flat routes, unless that's the design play. Now, he can always use help, but he needs more help in the blocking game. So unless Kareem Hunt's a better pass blocker, then I don't know. You could run a couple, shotgun two-back sets that could be fun, but it'd be difficult to see that. I'm not going to say A.J. Green. I know he's going to pull a lot of people when he gets back into it all, but he plays in Cincinnati. Those receivers do well because there's no eye on the target, so they don't know who to key in on, and they can always play against a bad corner. Maybe a lineman comes in and helps people out with their offense, but as of right now, I think Drew Brees is my injury resurgence. And I think Luke gets better from there. I think the rest of his team, though, has a lot of problems, so you can't necessarily say that it's going to be so wonderful. And our fifth and final question, haven't even thought of it yet. What should the fifth question be? What should the fifth question be? How is scoring compared to last year? Will anyone have a comeback? Playoff predictions, injury resurgence, social space. And the fifth question, my thoughts on the new dynasty that we will be beginning next year. First and foremost, I think we need obviously a larger trophy. Gene has found, and a couple other people have found some good options. Those options are basically a square base that would have a football on the top, where you could then have little placards that you could buy to put on the sides. That also could be expanded after we fill those in to then have a bottom placard with everybody's name around. And then we just buy the placard. So you don't have to pay for shipping and handling and etching and everything like that. We just pay for the small little placards to come in, and then we can put those on. The other option would just be to have one trophy that gets passed around all the time. You get to have it for a year, and then we get it there. The problem with that is we would all have to pay for shipping for that to be going to somebody else's location or hand deliver it or whatever. I don't know about that, but the possibility for that could be that the loser of every season has to pay for the shipping to get it to the new champion. Whether it is driving it there themselves and hand delivering it, which could be fun, or it is a shipment of some kind. Another thing I think we need to do is up the fees just a little bit to $50 and keep them there for a little while. I think that will help with the prize in the end. I think it keeps people a little bit more engaged. And then at the end of the day, if we wanted to go with a little bit of a better prize or do a couple of league things, we could. Speaking of league things, I will be hosting a league watch party the next coming weeks, possibly my birthday weekend. That is Halloween weekend, or the weekend right before Halloween. But that would be the last weekend in October. Well, second to last. Last weekend in October. It'd be the weekend after my birthday. So that is an option that is coming up. There will be calendar invites and things like that going on. And that'd be a lot more fun to keep the league going and keep it together. As of right now, we are still very disjointed. On Sundays, the group message is not going off like it used to. I don't know if people are thinking that somebody's going to pop off at them, or they're just people that are keeping that on a do not disturb or what, but let's get some more engagement going, guys. Lastly, if you have any questions for the next one of these that I do, for any Bernard's Regards that will be coming out, and if you have any ideas for weekly themes for the power rankings, let me know. I'm always open to suggestions. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday, and I'm really hoping that Florida is whooping up on Auburn right now. Roll Tide. And let's go Zen La. These Silver Surfers are surfing all over everybody. Maybe not the dad bods, but we'll see. I like Rivalry Week so far. Joe seems to be doing well. Tony seems to be doing well. Alex seems to be doing well. We'll see about everybody else. But it seems that Chris and Michael both might play somebody who's supposed to be on bye week, so it evens out. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time.